All right, today we're jumping into a wild one, the story of King Ahaziah of Judah and his blinking-you'll-miss-it reign. This is one of those stories where the old saying, "you can't choose your family," takes on a whole new and pretty deadly meaning. For this king, his family ties weren't just complicated, they were a death warrant. So let's meet our main character, King Ahaziah, the one-year king. And when I say one-year king, I mean it literally, just one. His entire reign, his whole legacy, all of it gets crammed into a single chaotic year back around 841 BC. And get this, he was only 22 years old when he took the throne. Talk about being thrown into the deep end. The whole ancient Near East at this point was a total pressure cooker. You've got these massive empires stirring, alliances shifting like sand. It was probably one of the most turbulent times to become a king. Okay, so to really get why his reign was so short and so, well, disastrous, we have to look at his family. And I'm telling you, this isn't just some boring genealogy. His family tree is the key to this whole story. So you've basically got two rival kingdoms. Down south, you have Judah. That's the house of David, and they're sticking with their traditional worship of Yahweh. But up north, you have Israel, ruled by the powerful house of Omri. And they're shaking things up. They start promoting the worship of Baal. So this isn't just two kingdoms arguing over borders. This is a full-blown culture war, a fight for the soul of the people. And check out his grandparents. It's like night and day. On his dad's side from Judah, you've got King Jehoshaphat, this really devout ruler trying to follow God's law. But on his mom's side from Israel, oh boy, it's King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. They're legendary for pushing Baal worship on everyone. You couldn't find two more opposite families, and poor Ahaziah is stuck right in the middle. And here's where it all gets messy. His parents' marriage. His dad, Jehoram of Judah, marries Athaliah, the daughter of Ahab and Jezebel. On paper, it's a brilliant political alliance, right? It unites the two kingdoms. But what it really did was open the door and invite all that chaos from the north right into the heart of Judah's royal court. So, you've got this explosive family background. What kind of king does Ahaziah turn out to be? Well, let's just say he picked a side. The Bible gives him a pretty brutal report card. It says flat out, he walked in the way of the house of Ahab. In other words, he had a choice between following his devout grandpa from Judah or his infamous grandpa from Israel, and he chose Ahab. And you know who was whispering in his ear the whole time? His mother, Athaliah. The texts make it super clear she was the real power behind the throne, pushing him to copy her family's playbook. He wasn't just a king, he was basically a pawn in his mother's game to bring her family's influence south. And it's this loyalty to his mom's family, to the northern kingdom, that leads him to make one single decision that will cost him everything. Okay, so follow this chain of events. Ahaziah decides to team up with his uncle, King Joram of Israel, for a war. Solid family alliance, right? Well, during the fight, Joram gets wounded and has to go back to a city called Jezreel to recover. And then Ahaziah makes his fatal mistake. He decides, hey, I'll go visit my uncle. A simple family visit. But it was the definition of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because what Ahaziah doesn't know is that as he's traveling to see his uncle, a bloody revolution is about to kick off. And he is riding straight into the middle of it. See, behind the scenes, the prophet Elisha has just secretly anointed a new king of Israel, a tough-as-nails army commander named Jehu. And Jehu has one job, a mission he believes comes straight from God: destroy the entire house of Ahab, every last one of them. This isn't just a grab for power, it's a holy war. So Jehu doesn't mess around. He jumps in his chariot and drives like a madman straight for Jezreel, right where King Joram is laid up. When Joram comes out to meet him, boom, Jehu kills him with an arrow. The revolution has started. And just like that, it all falls apart for Ahaziah. He sees his uncle get killed and realizes, oh no, I'm in the middle of a coup. He tries to get away, but Jehu's soldiers chase him down and wound him. He manages to escape all the way to Megiddo, but that's where he dies. And that was it. Reign over. All because he was related to the wrong people. You'd think that would be the end of the story, right? But Ahaziah's death just kicks off a whole new level of chaos back in his own kingdom of Judah. Remember his mother, Athaliah, the daughter of Ahab and Jezebel? Well, with her son gone, she sees a power vacuum. And she doesn't hesitate. She grabs the throne of Judah for herself. And what she does next is just unbelievably ruthless. To make sure no one can challenge her,
She tries to wipe out the entire royal family, her own grandchildren. For 6 long years, she rules as a tyrant, forcing the worship of Baal on Judah. Ahaziah's death basically allowed his mother to almost destroy the entire lineage of King David.
But there's a twist. In all that chaos, one baby, Ahaziah's only surviving son, Joash, is saved. His aunt grabs him and hides him in the temple. So even after all that bloodshed, the line of David miraculously hangs on by a single thread.
So when you look back at Ahaziah's story, what do you see? Was he a victim of his own bad choices? Was it divine judgment that caught him in the crossfire? Or was he just the unluckiest guy in history, who paid the ultimate price for a simple family visit?